goodness. Okay, I got a question. Have you ever just casually scrolled through your LinkedIn feed and you come across this post about some of your peers getting this internship, landing this internship offer at a big tech company like Facebook, Amazon, Google, basically fame. And then at that point, you start thinking to yourself, you start contemplating like, damn, why couldn't I get the internship? I've applied to 100 billion places and I haven't gotten one single offer from any place ever. And if this person can do it, why can't I? I feel like such a failure. And at that point, you start beating yourself up. You start blaming yourself for your so-called incompetency, when really it's not incompetency. It's really not. Has that ever happened to you? I know for a fact that it's happened to me multiple times. In fact, I'm feeling that guilt right now. That's why I wanted to make this video, kind of to highlight how we're so caught up in this big competitive society. I mean, think about it for a sec. Ever since we were born, we've been conditioned to be competitive with people. We've been conditioned to always compete and always strive and aim for the absolute best of the best. Maybe I'm just a little bit biased because I'm from an Indian household and, you know, competition is basically in my blood. But I think this ideology can extend to every single human being. So I've been dealing with this guilt for a while, and you know, I've been on LinkedIn recently, and every single time I come across a post that mentions how someone landed an internship at a top tech company, or you know, how someone is deciding to take a gap semester to intern at several tech companies, some of my confidence really goes down the drain. That might be a little bit dramatic, but it's true. A part of me just thinks to myself, why can't I do it? If other people are able to achieve such great things in life, then why can't I? Why am I just so dumb? Why am I seriously so dumb? Is something wrong with me? I start questioning myself. I start questioning my intelligence. And I've done that for a while. And I guess one of the primary reasons why I'm so worried and so anxious every single time I come across things like this on LinkedIn can be tied back to the competitive nature that humans have. So for example, how I was raised growing up in an Indian household definitely contributed to me panicking and me constantly on LinkedIn, constantly restless until I land some sort of an internship. Growing up, my parents always told me to aim for my best, strive to be the best version of myself. And I completely agree with that. Even to this day, I always try to be the best version of myself. But also, while I was growing up, my parents used to compare me to other kids in class that were perhaps getting better grades than me. Like, if I came home with a 95 on a math test, then they would ask me like, hey, are you sure that's the highest grade in the class? And obviously, someone must have had to do better than that. So when I tell them that no, it wasn't the highest, then they would actually just tell me, you know, maybe you should try and aim for a better score next time and try to compete with people that are better than you. And I guess in a way, I kind of agree with them. Like, think about it for a sec. If you compare yourself to others that are more successful than you, then perhaps that would motivate you to actually get to their level. But at the same time, that could be a major hindrance. If you compare yourself, if you're constantly comparing yourself to people that are more successful than you, then you're more likely to feel bad about yourself, and you're more likely to lose motivation, and you're more likely to not achieve your dreams. And this could also go the other way too. So for example, if you received a pretty bad grade on a test, suppose you got a C grade on an exam, but a lot of your friends actually did pretty good on the exam, comparing yourself to your friends that did good might make you depressed. But if you decide to go the other route and compare yourself to people that actually did worse than you, then it might make you feel better about yourself. This isn't just limited to grades. It applies to anything in life. So for example, suppose there's two people. We'll call them Mark and John. Mark decides to go to college. He graduates from college and now he has a decent job and he's making decent salary. He's living his life. But on the other hand, there's John. John decided that college is something that he wasn't going to do. So John instead decides that he wants to produce music. But initially his music isn't gaining a lot of traction. And suppose Mark and John were friends with each other. Now, John might think to himself, damn, I really screwed up by not going to college, because my friend Mark, on the other hand, he's having the time of his life. On the other hand, if John in fact did succeed in his music production, then he wouldn't even be making the comparison. He wouldn't be comparing himself to Mark. He would be absolutely fine with his stage in life. So okay, what's the takeaway here? The takeaway is that if we constantly keep comparing ourselves to others that are more successful than us, or others that are less successful than us, then we will never truly be successful ourselves. So there's actually a quote that summarizes this pretty comprehensively. It goes, "Every minute you spend wishing you had someone else's life is a minute spent wasting yours." So think about that for a sec. We're so preoccupied with what others are doing, with other people's success, that we just stop focusing on our own. And that's the paradox of life. From the moment we're born, we're automatically trained to see through the lens of comparison, of comparing ourselves to others. And it's time that we break that we stop comparing ourselves to others and start focusing that energy on ourselves. Anyways, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this topic since it's such a prevalent issue. Thanks for making it to the end of the video, and if you're new here, definitely do subscribe. And in the comment section below, feel free to comment suggestions for future videos and I'll respond. And I'll see you guys in the next one.